All right, today we are going to build your ultimate Spanish classroom survival kit. Seriously. We're going to get you all the essential tools so you don't just survive, you actually thrive from day one. So come on, let's open up that toolkit and get started. Okay, just picture this for a second. You walk into your very first Spanish class. You're excited, right? But maybe also a little nervous. And then the teacher starts speaking and bam, that feeling hits you. That little bit of panic, You're surrounded by all these new sounds, and you realize you don't even know how to ask the most basic question. Look, if that sounds familiar at all, please don't worry. It's a totally universal feeling for pretty much every language learner out there. But guess what? Today, that's going to change. We are going to build your personal communication toolkit, one piece at a time, so you feel ready for anything. So the very first step to feeling comfortable in any new space is just being able to name what's in it, right? It's like building a mental map. So we're going to start with the absolute basics, the objects you'll see and use every single day. First up, let's talk about your personal stuff. The things that are literally right there on your desk, the things you're going to be touching all the time. We're talking about words like libro for book, cuaderno for your notebook, and of course, mochila for your backpack. Just knowing these few words can make you feel so much more grounded right away. Okay, now let's zoom out a little bit to the rest of the classroom. You've got your chair, that's the silla, and the whiteboard, which is the pizarra. And just like that, with only these couple of small sets of words, you can already name pretty much everything right around you. See? You've already mapped out your environment. All right, so knowing a bunch of nouns is great. It's a fantastic start. But language is really about interaction, right? So this next section, this is the key. This is what unlocks actual communication. We're not just talking about questions here. These are powerful tools that will help you learn everything else. So let's go back to that classroom scene. The teacher holds up something totally new, or maybe you just spot an object we haven't talked about. Your brain is scrambling for the word, but it's just not there. It's a blank. So what's the most powerful thing you can do in that exact moment? This question right here is your master key. It's your superpower. ¿Cómo se dice esto en español? Think about it. It turns every single object around you into a live vocabulary lesson. You can point at literally anything and instantly get the word for it. This is the one question that builds your vocabulary from the ground up. Okay, now let's flip that scenario around. What if the teacher says a word you've never heard before? Maybe they say something like, saca el ordenador, and you're sitting there like, the what? You've got to know what that word means. Your go-to question is, ¿Qué significa ordenador? This is how you translate the world back into English, just to make sure you're on the right page. It's your safety net, so you never get left behind. And for number 3, the one that completes the magic trifecta. Let's say you see a word written down. Maybe you even know what it means, but you're just not sure how to say it without sounding, well, silly. You ask, ¿Cómo se pronuncia pizarra? This is so great because it shows you're not just trying to understand, you actually care about speaking correctly and with confidence. And you know what? Putting this into practice is so simple. It's just a 3-step loop. You point, you ask, and you listen. That's it. Point, ask, listen. You can do this all day long, actively building your vocabulary in real time. Okay, you've got the basics down. You're ready to level up. This next set of tools is for those moments when you need a little more than just the word. You need absolute perfect clarity. Because let's be real, sometimes you'll hear a word, but the pronunciation is just tricky. Or maybe the teacher is speaking a mile a minute. We've all been there. These next phrases are designed to solve those very specific and very common problems. These phrases right here, they put you back in control of the conversation. Whether you need to ask how something is spelled, if someone can speak a little louder, or, and this one is probably the most useful one for every single beginner, if they can just speak a little slower. You have the tools to ask. This is huge. It lets you shape the lesson to a speed that works for you. Okay, here's a little pro tip that's going to save you a ton of confusion down the line. When someone's spelling a word in Spanish, the letters B and V can sound almost exactly the same. So to clarify, you just ask con B for the letter B or o con V for the letter V. It's such a small detail, but trust me, it makes a massive difference. All right, our survival kit is almost packed. We've got words, we've got questions, we've got phrases for clarity. For our final item, let's add that little bit of polish, a pro tip that'll make you not just sound correct, but actually sound more natural. Yeah, we're talking about intonation.
It's basically the music of the language, the rise and fall of your voice. Just think about it for a second. In English, when we ask a question like, what is this? Our voice goes up at the end, right? What is this? But in Spanish, for these kinds of information questions, it's actually the opposite. The melody falls at the end.
So here's the secret. Listen really closely to this. For a question like, ¿Cómo se dice esto? Your voice goes up just a little bit on the question word, on the como, and then it gently falls towards the end of the sentence. So it's not, ¿Cómo se dice esto? With that upward inflection. It's more like, ¿Cómo se dice esto? Getting this one little detail right will make a world of difference in how you sound. And there you have it. Let's do a quick recap. You can now name things in your classroom. Check. You've got the 3 magic questions to learn anything you want. Check. You've got the phrases to ask for clarification when you need it. Check. And you even know the secret to sounding more natural with your intonation. Your survival kit is officially packed. You are ready to go. So really, there's only one thing left to ask. With all these tools in hand, you're not that student who sits in silence anymore, right? You're an active, engaged learner with a full toolkit. So the question is, what's the very first thing you're going to ask in your next Spanish class?